Who snapped a photo together? Yerin had an interview with Elle magazine where she referenced MBJ as a hopeful run-in. Shortly after the event, Michael B. Jordan followed Yerin Ha on Instagram. But then fans spotted comments on her posts. Fans also noticed that MBJ had liked her post from 2025.
Celebrity crush. Come on, you can make it happen. You're very famous now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but he was in Black Panther, but he was the villain.
Oh, Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Do you want me to text him right now?
No.
I will. Seriously, someone get my phone. I'm going to text Michael and I'm going to tell him that he should meet you.
No. I'm okay.
All right.
And the moment instantly went viral. Michael didn't ignore it either. He sent Naomi a personal video message.
Stop the scroll right now because the internet is officially in a state of absolute cardiac arrest. Is Michael B. Jordan, Hollywood's golden boy, the man who single-handedly made corny look like a superpower, actually moving on with a new global obsession? We've all seen the headlines, we've all felt the tension, but what just happened in the digital archives of Instagram has sent the gossip industrial complex into a total tailspin. Have you ever wondered what happens when the king of discipline meets the breakout queen of the ton? We are talking about a deep dive, archive digging, fire emoji dropping situation that would make a private investigator blush. Was it just a friendly congrats at a SAG after party? Or are we witnessing the birth of Hollywood's most unexpected power couple of 2026? The receipts are messy, the timing is suspicious, and the public reaction is reaching a fever pitch that's bordering on a civil war. People are taking sides, digging up old interviews, and asking the one question that has been trending for the last 72 hours. Did the bag officially get fumbled? Or did Michael finally find the alignment he's been searching for in Yerin Ha? Buckle up, because we aren't just scratching the surface today. We are going deep into the Malibu hideouts, the TikTok breadcrumbs, and the viral moments that prove Michael isn't just looking, he is locked in. If you thought the Lori Harvey era was loud, you haven't seen anything yet. This is about growth, culture, and the kind of calculated moves that only a superstar can pull off. Stay right there, because this is the breakdown the industry didn't want you to see. The rumors started as a whisper in the back corners of the internet, but within 24 hours the entire digital world was screaming. Michael B. Jordan, the man who built an empire on discipline, focus, and staying out of the mess, has finally been caught in a web that even his PR team can't scrub away. We are talking about the kind of news that stops people in their tracks because it involves the most talked about rising star of 2026, Yerin Ha. If you have been living under a rock, Yerin isn't just a new face, she is the breakout legend from the latest season of Bridgerton and the Halo series, but more importantly, she is the woman who has seemingly cracked the code to Michael's notoriously guarded heart. The scandal isn't just that they were seen together, it is the sheer level of calculation and digital thirst that has been uncovered by fans who have way too much time on their hands. People started noticing that Michael was not just following her, he was deep in the trenches of her past. We are talking about likes on photos from 2025 and 2024. This isn't a casual scroll while waiting for a coffee, this is a man who went back through years of content to make sure she knew he was watching. The investigative findings coming out of the Malibu circuit are even more shocking. Sources are claiming that the two were spotted at a high-end celebrity hideout in Malibu where the bill for a single dinner exceeded what most people make in a year. We are talking about a level of lavish spending that suggests this isn't just a first date, it is a statement. Anonymous staff at the venue reported that Michael looked more relaxed than he has in years, while Yerin was commanding the room with a confidence that felt like she had already won. But the controversy isn't just about the romance, it is about the legacy and the timing. Michael has spent his entire career being called corny and being told he doesn't have a specific type, but the moment he links up with a Korean-Australian actress with a massive industry lineage, the internet loses its collective mind. Yerin comes from cinematic royalty in South Korea. Her grandmother is a literal legend and a former minister. This isn't a random pairing, this is a collision of two power dynasties that has left the public divided and skeptical. The social media reactions have been a war zone. One side is cheering for Michael, saying he finally found someone who matches his drive and his cultural appreciation for Japan and the wider Asian continent. They point to his solo trips and his private chef sessions as proof that this was always the direction he was headed. But the other side is far more cynical. They are calling it a calculated PR move designed to boost international numbers for his upcoming projects like the Fourth Wing adaptation. These fans are digging up every old interview where Michael talked about his preferences, and they are using it as ammunition to claim that he is switching up his brand to fit a new global narrative. The comments sections on TikTok and Instagram are flooded with people analyzing his every move. When he dropped a fire emoji on her latest clip, the internet didn't just notice, they archived it as evidence. This is the man who usually posts about gym sessions and movie trailers, acting like a fanboy for a girl who is 10 years his junior. The investigative reports get even darker when you look at the leaked details of their alleged interaction at the SAG after-party. Sources claim that Michael didn't just meet her, he spent the entire night in a private corner making sure no cameras were around, but in 2026 nothing stays private. Leaked audio snippets that have been circulating on private Discord servers suggest that they were discussing more than just acting. They were talking about power and influence and how to dominate the global market together. This has led to accusations of industry corruption, with people suggesting that Yerin's rapid rise to the top of the Bridgerton cast wasn't just about her talent, but about the high-level backing she has from people like Steven Spielberg and now potentially the Creed superstar himself. The public is starting to question if Hollywood is just one big game of chess where relationships are the most powerful pieces on the board. The backlash hasn't just been about the two of them, it has reignited a massive debate about the dating habits of successful men in the industry. People are bringing up Lori Harvey and how that relationship felt like a polished product compared to this raw and somewhat chaotic digital trail Michael is leaving for Yerin. The accusations are flying, with some claiming that Michael is intentionally distancing himself from his previous image to appeal to a different demographic. Every time he likes a post from 3 years ago, it feels like a slap in the face to the people who supported his low-key persona for years. It is an exaggerated display of interest that feels out of character for a man of his stature, and that is exactly why the internet is losing its mind. They want to know if this is the real Michael or if he is playing a role that he thinks we want to see. Meanwhile, Yerin Ha is navigating this storm with a level of silence that is deafening. She hasn't posted a single thing about the rumors, but her follower count is exploding by the hundreds of thousands every hour. This is the classic Hollywood playbook: stay quiet while the world burns your name into the search bars. But while she stays silent, her team is allegedly working overtime to secure even bigger deals. Reports are coming in that she is being considered for a major role in Michael's production company, which would basically confirm that their connection is both personal and professional. The idea of a pay-to-play relationship is starting to circulate, with people asking if Michael is using his influence to fast-track her career in exchange for the couple status that keeps him relevant in the headlines. The spending is what really gets people talking. There are rumors of Michael gifting Yerin pieces of jewelry that are custom-made and worth more than a luxury condo in Newark. If these reports are true, it shows a side of Michael that we have never seen before. He has always been the guy who saves his money, who talks about discipline, and who doesn't do the flashy Hollywood thing. To see him allegedly throwing around this kind of cash for someone he has known for a few months feels like a total shift in his psychology. Is he going through a midlife crisis, or is he just that far gone for her? The public is obsessed with the idea that the disciplined king has finally met his match and has lost all his self-control in the process. As this section of the investigation closes, the tension is only getting higher. We have seen the likes, we have heard the rumors about the Malibu dinners, and we have witnessed the digital war between the fans. But what happens when the professional world starts to bleed into the personal mess? What happens when the legal teams and the talent agencies have to step in to manage the fallout of a scandal that is growing too big to control? The rumors are no longer just about who is dating who, they are about the integrity of the industry itself. And just when you think you have seen it all, the evidence takes a turn that no one expected, showing that Michael B. Jordan's involvement with Yerin Ha might be the tip of an iceberg that could sink more than a few reputations in Hollywood. This isn't just a romance, it is a calculated takeover, and the next phase of this story is where the real masks start to slip off, revealing the true motives behind the most shocking pairing of the year. The investigation takes an even sharper turn as we dive into the fallout of those Malibu sightings and the leaked industry documents that have sent legal teams into a literal frenzy. If you thought the deep scroll on Instagram was the end of it, you haven't seen the chaos happening behind the closed doors of Hollywood's elite agencies. As of early May 2026, the situation has shifted from a spicy dating rumor to a full-blown corporate scandal that is threatening to expose how these high-level power couples are actually manufactured. Anonymous sources inside Michael's production camp have started leaking information about a strategic alignment initiative. This sounds like corporate talk, but in the world of sensational investigative journalism, it translates to one thing: a massive, multi-million-dollar plan to pair Michael with a global star who can bridge the gap between Western cinema and the exploding Asian market. The reports of corruption and the abuse of power are starting to pile up. It's being whispered that certain high-level executives at major streaming platforms were incentivized to prioritize Yerin for the role of Sophie Beck in Bridgerton specifically because they knew Michael B. Jordan would be the one to validate her to the American audience. If this is true, we are looking at a level of industry manipulation that goes far beyond a simple crush. We are talking about a pre-planned narrative where every accidental like on a 2025 photo was a calculated step in a marketing manual. The public is starting to ask, was Michael's solo trip to Japan just a vacation, or was it a location scout for a life that had already been scripted for him? The lavish spending we discussed in the first part, the jewelry, the private Malibu dinners, the exclusive gifts, is now being viewed through a much darker lens. Critics are calling it promotional overhead. They are suggesting that Michael isn't spending his own money to woo Yerin, but rather using production budgets to build a brand that looks like a romance but functions like a business merger. The public backlash is hitting a breaking point. Fans who once looked up to Michael as the ultimate disciplined, no-nonsense actor are feeling betrayed. They are seeing a man who claimed to stay away from the Hollywood circus suddenly becoming the ringmaster. Social media has become a breeding ground for conspiracy theories. One viral thread on a popular forum suggests that the entire fumble-the-bag narrative regarding Lori Harvey was actually a distraction to clear the way for this 2026 takeover. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. People are analyzing the leaked call logs that suggest Michael and Yerin's teams were in contact as early as late 2025, long before they ever met at the SAG Awards. If the timeline is fake, then the chemistry is fake, and if the chemistry is fake, the fans are ready to burn the whole thing down. There is a hypothetical financial crisis brewing for Michael's upcoming projects. If the audience perceives this relationship as a fraud, the Fourth Wing adaptation could face a massive boycott before a single frame is even shot. This is where the consequences become real. We are hearing reports of emergency meetings between Michael's lawyers and the studio heads. They are trying to figure out how to pivot the narrative back to organic love before the industry plant labels stick forever. But the internet is faster than any PR firm. The memes are already out there. People are calling them the algorithm couple. The irony is that Michael, the man who was once teased for being too serious or corny, is now being accused of being too fake. It is a complete 180-degree flip of his entire public identity. The investigative findings also point to a potential probe into how these leaked sightings even happen. Most celebrities in Malibu go to places like Nobu precisely because they want to be seen, but Michael has historically used private entrances. Why, suddenly, was he sitting in the middle of the dining room with Yerin where every waiter and guest could see his every smile? Skeptics are calling it a staged leak. They believe the anonymous sources who talked about their chemistry were actually paid interns from a public relations firm. This kind of corruption in the gossip industry isn't new, but seeing it applied to someone as authentic as Michael B. Jordan is what makes it so scandalous. It's a betrayal of the brand. As the legal threats continue to fly, we are seeing the fallout affect Yerin Ha's reputation as well. She was the darling of the industry, the talent chosen by Spielberg, but now she is being labeled as a social climber by the more aggressive corners of the internet. The accusations are that she is using Michael's decade of hard work to skip the line. This is creating a massive rift in the fan base. Half the people think she is a victim of a sexist narrative, while the other half thinks she is the mastermind behind the most successful PR heist in modern Hollywood. The rumors of a resignation from certain members of Michael's inner circle are also picking up steam. It's said that his longtime advisors are unhappy with this sensationalist direction. They want the old Michael back, the one who focused on the gym and the craft, not the one dropping fire emojis on TikTok at 3 in the morning like a teenager. The financial stakes are astronomical. If Michael is indeed gifting her custom jewelry worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, that money has to come from somewhere. Financial investigators, the unofficial ones on the internet, anyway, are tracking the movement of his production company's funds. There is a fear that the line between personal lifestyle and professional business has been blurred. If Michael B. Jordan is using his company to fund a high-stakes dating life, it opens the door for probes that could actually affect his standing in the industry. This is the law and crime aspect of the story that no one saw coming. What started as a photo at an after-party has turned into a potential investigation into the transparency of celebrity business ventures. The psychological toll on the fans is evident in the comments. You see people writing essays about how men like Michael always switch up once they reach a certain level of fame. There is a deep-seated resentment that is being fueled by this news. It's not just about Yerin Ha, it's about what she represents in the eyes of a frustrated public. She represents the other, the new direction, and the abandonment of the fans who were there from the beginning. Michael's every interaction with her TikToks is seen as evidence of this abandonment. Every fire emoji is a nail in the coffin of his old persona. The humor in all of this is how seriously the internet is taking it. We have people acting like they are jurors in a murder trial, analyzing the angle of his likes and the speed of his follows. But the most shocking leaked report suggests that there is a this video to this plan, a public engagement that is scheduled to coincide exactly with the premiere of Yerin's next major project. If this is true, it would be the ultimate proof of a manufactured scandal. A scripted engagement for the sake of a box office opening? It sounds like a bad movie, but in 2026, it's just another Tuesday in Hollywood. The anticipation for a slip-up is at an all-time high. Everyone is waiting for one of them to say the wrong thing in an interview, to forget a detail of their How We Met story, or to be seen with someone else in a different low-key spot. The consequences are already manifesting in Michael's engagement numbers. While his followers are up, his sentiment score, which measures how much people actually like him, is at an all-time low. He is becoming a love-to-hate figure. This is a dangerous place for an actor who relies on being the hero in his films. If the audience doesn't believe in the man, they won't believe in the character. This is the true fallout of the Yerin Ha scandal. It is the erosion of a decade of trust for the sake of a viral moment. As we move into the final phase of this investigation, the questions only get louder. Is Michael B. Jordan a victim of his own fame, or is he the architect of a new, darker Hollywood? Is Yerin Ha a rising star or a calculated industry plant? And most importantly, what happens when the call to action isn't just for the viewers, but for the industry itself to change how it plays these games? The masks are halfway off, the deep scroll has been exposed, and the world is just waiting for the final piece of the puzzle to drop. This isn't just breaking news, it's a breakdown of everything we thought we knew about celebrity alignment and growth. The surface has been scratched, and underneath, it is far messier than anyone predicted. The fallout of this digital evidence has now crossed the line from social media gossip into a full-blown industry crisis that has talent agencies and legal teams scrambling to contain the damage. We are witnessing the third and most explosive stage of this saga, where the hypothetical consequences are starting to manifest in real time. Reports are circulating that Michael B. Jordan's legal counsel has been forced to issue cease and desist letters to several private investigative accounts that claim to have uncovered the actual contract behind the Yerin Ha connection. This is where the story shifts from a simple romance to a potential industry probe. If these leaked documents are even 10% accurate, we are looking at a level of pre-planned relationship engineering that could trigger investigations into the transparency of celebrity endorsements and organic marketing. The tension in the industry is reaching a boiling point with rumors of high-level resignations within Michael's own production company Outlier Society. Sources suggest that longtime advisors who helped build his disciplined and focused brand are stepping down because they can no longer support the sensationalist direction his personal life is taking. The internal conflict reportedly centers on the fear that Michael is sacrificing his long-term legacy for a short-term viral peak with a star whose background and industry backing are already being viewed with suspicion. This isn't just a lover's quarrel, it is a financial crisis in the making. Investors are reportedly nervous that the Fourth Wing adaptation, which Michael is spearheading, could lose its core audience if the industry plant labels attached to Yerin Ha continue to stick. We are talking about a potential multi-million-dollar hit to his brand equity, all because of a series of fire emojis and a deep scroll that everyone was supposed to ignore. The public backlash has evolved into a global conversation about the authenticity deficit in modern Hollywood. People are no longer just talking about who is dating who, they are questioning the reality of every celebrity interaction they see. The controversy has sparked a series of truth threads where former assistants and industry insiders are coming forward with anonymous accounts of how these Malibu sightings are staged. One particular source claimed that the low-key dinner at Nobu was actually blocked out on a production calendar 3 weeks in advance with specific instructions on what Michael and Yerin should wear to look warm and natural for the paparazzi. If this level of manipulation is the new standard, then the growth and alignment Michael has been talking about is nothing more than a carefully written script. In the legal and financial world, the probes are getting deeper. There are whispers of a financial audit regarding the custom jewelry Michael allegedly gifted Yerin. In 2026, the line between personal gifts and business expenses is under a microscope. If it is found that production funds or promotional budgets were used to subsidize a high-stakes dating life to generate buzz for upcoming films, the consequences could be devastating. We are talking about potential probes from industry watchdogs and a complete loss of trust from the fans who buy the tickets and stream the shows. The irony is that Michael B. Jordan spent his whole life avoiding the corny label only to end up potentially being the face of the most manufactured scandal in 2026. The social media sentiment has shifted from curiosity to a strange kind of entertainment-fueled anger. Every time Yerin Ha posts a new photo, the comments are no longer about her talent in Bridgerton or Halo, they are a battleground for people to debate Michael's pattern of behavior. Fans are digging up his old interviews about Naomi Osaka and Lori Harvey and comparing them to his current obsessive digital trail for Yerin. They are calling it a glitch in the simulation where a grown man of his stature is acting like a fan account for a rising star. The humor has turned dark, with memes suggesting that Michael is working overtime to prove he has moved on while Yerin is just collecting the check and the clout that comes with it. As we look toward the fallout, the word resignation keeps popping up in celebrity news cycles. Not just from staff but from the fans themselves who are resigning from their support of MBJ. This is the ultimate consequence for an actor who built his career on being the relatable hero. Once you lose that authenticity, you lose the foundation of your power. The hypothetical situation where Michael and Yerin have to do a tell-all interview to save their reputations is already being mapped out by PR experts. They are predicting a scripted sit-down where they will talk about their instant soul connection and try to explain away the 2025 likes as a glitch or a coincidence. But in the age of digital receipts, the world doesn't believe in coincidences anymore. The fallout is also hitting Yerin Ha in ways her team probably didn't anticipate. While her fame is skyrocketing, the quality of that fame is being questioned. Instead of being the granddaughter of a legend and a Spielberg protege, she is being framed as the PR partner for a man trying to reinvent his image. This kind of baggage can sink a rising star's career before it even reaches its peak. If the Bridgerton fanbase turns on her for being part of a calculated takeover, the very show that made her a star could become the platform for her downfall. The stakes are higher than they have ever been, and the truth is becoming a very expensive commodity. What we are seeing is the slow-motion crash of a high-speed Hollywood narrative. The investigative findings show a pattern of manipulation that leaves very little room for real human connection. Whether it is the Malibu dinners or the TikTok fire emojis, every move feels like it was approved by a board of directors rather than a heart. The public is exhausted by the winning formula, and they are starting to demand something real. This scandal isn't just about Michael and Yerin, it is about the death of the authentic celebrity in 2026. As the probes continue and the legal letters fly, the only thing that is certain is that the internet will never look at Michael B. Jordan the same way again. The man who once moved different is now moving exactly like every other star who is afraid of being forgotten. The final consequences will likely be felt at the box office and in the streaming numbers. If the public feels like they have been played, they will stop playing the game. We could be looking at a major shift in how celebrities manage their personal lives, with a return to actual privacy being the only way to regain trust. But for now, Michael and Yerin are locked in a digital embrace that feels more like a prison than a romance. They are trapped by the very narrative they created, and every like or comment just tightens the grip of the scandal. The internet hasn't just lost it, they have found the receipts, and they aren't letting go until they get the full story. So we are left with a massive question mark over the future of Hollywood's most controversial pair. Was this a genuine attempt at alignment and growth, or was it the most expensive marketing campaign of the decade? As the legal battles loom and the public backlash grows, the masks are not just slipping, they are being ripped off. This is the reality of fame in 2026, where a deep scroll can start a war and a fire emoji can end a legacy. The investigative journey ends here for now, but the fallout is just beginning. The industry is watching, the fans are waiting, and the receipts are still being printed. This is the breakdown of a power couple that was built on a foundation of digital breadcrumbs, and the world is finally realizing that you can't feed a fanbase on crumbs forever. It is a dramatic conclusion to a story that started with a simple photo. The shock factor isn't just the relationship, it is the realization of how deep the manipulation goes. As we close the books on this investigation, remember that in the world of celebrity commentary, the truth is often stranger than the fiction, and the fiction is usually just a well-funded PR strategy. Michael B. Jordan and Yerin Ha might be the headline, but the real story is the end of an era where we believed what we saw on our screens. The fallout will be long, the investigations will be thorough, and the public will be waiting for the next breaking truth to drop. Now I want to hear from you, because this is the kind of story that needs your perspective to reach its final form. Do you think this was a timing issue or a total industry fabrication designed to control the narrative? Was Michael B. Jordan genuinely looking for alignment, or was he just following a script that was handed to him in late 2025? And what about Yerin Ha? Is she a victim of the Hollywood machine or a willing participant in the biggest clout chase of the year? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because we are reading every single one and we want to know if you are buying what they are selling. If you found this investigative breakdown as shocking as we did, make sure you like this video and share it with everyone who thinks celebrity romances are still real. Subscribe to Star Watch for more deep dives into the scandals they try to hide, and make sure you hit that notification bell, because trust me, you do not want to miss what we have coming next. There is so much more to this story, and the receipts are still coming in. Thanks for watching, and stay focused, because the truth is always hidden in plain sight. The evidence is laid out, the receipts are public, and the digital trail is impossible to ignore. We have moved past the era of simple celebrity sightings and entered a time where every like, every scroll, and every Malibu dinner is a calculated move in a much larger game. Michael B. Jordan and Yerin Ha might be the names on everyone's lips right now, but the real story is about the shift in Hollywood's power dynamics and what happens when the fans finally start seeing through the script. Is this the start of a new global power couple, or are we witnessing the final days of authentic celebrity culture as we know it? I really want to hear your take on this, because the internet is clearly divided. Do you think Michael has finally found his match in Yerin? Or is this the most expensive PR stunt of 2026? Was Lori Harvey the one that got away, or was she just a chapter in a book Michael is still writing? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, let's get into it. If you enjoyed this investigative deep dive, make sure you hit that like button and share this with your circle. If you're new here, Subscribe to Star Watch and turn on those notifications so you never miss a breaking truth. We are just getting started, and you'll want to be here for what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.